Penguin Random House Audio presents The Tale of Princess Fatima, Warrior Woman, the Arabic epic of Dhat al-Himma. Edited, translated, and with an introduction and notes by Melanie Magidow. Read for you by Dalia Ramahi. Note to listeners: this program includes a downloadable PDF that contains a note on the translation and suggestions for further reading from the book. Introduction. This book presents selected episodes from the life of the Arab heroine Princess Fatima, Warrior Woman, drawn from the longest Arabic seerah, or epic, the only one named for a woman, and introduces readers to the epic's memorable characters and their fascinating world. In Arabic, the epic is titled Sirat al-Amira Dhat al-Himma, meaning Epic of the Commander Dhat al-Himma. The term Amira can be translated as princess, warrior woman, or commander, among other possibilities. It is a noun of feminine gender and signifies a title of respect and a position of authority. As for the name Dhat al-Himma, it can be translated literally as she of noble ambition. It is a nickname the main character earns through success in her adventures. At birth, she was named Fatima, but as a heroine, she became Dhat al-Himma. This is her story, her seerah. The events of Sirat al-Amira take place from the late 7th century through the 9th century CE, with allusions to events that would happen in the 10th century, during the Arab-Byzantine Wars. The action begins in the Arabian Peninsula and then moves north to the Arab-Byzantine border, today's Syria-Turkey border. It follows the adventures of Princess Fatima, her son, and their posse of friends as they move back and forth primarily in the borderlands, with visits to Constantinople and to the Caliph's court in Baghdad. For the Byzantines, the translator has opted to retain the Arabic term the Rum to convey the fundamental sense in which these are simply people, whether soldiers or civilians, from the other side of the border. This seerah resembles many other heroic tales in world literature. Like in Marvel Comics, many of its characters display superhuman abilities that they use to save and to destroy. Like the Chinese heroine Mulan, Princess Fatima proves herself a warrior as a young woman, in a culture in which men dominate the martial arts. Of all the Arabic epics that have come down to us, this one most closely resembles the British tale of Arthur, particularly in the constellation of male and female heroes that surround Princess Fatima. Similar to Arthur's round table of knights, although his knights were all men. We also find similarities to the Robin Hood legend, in that it includes several famous characters: Robin Hood, Little John, King Richard the Lionheart, and Maid Marian, for example. The characters engage a strong sense of right and wrong, but sometimes the villain is the one you root for, like when Robin Hood breaks the law to feed the poor. And the setting of the epic, the Arab-Byzantine borderlands, is a liminal space like Sherwood Forest, a mysterious place outside of regulated urban society where it seems that anything can happen. Genre. This epic developed as a cycle of stories celebrating the tribe of Beni Kilab through its heroes and their adventures. The term seerah has been variously rendered into English as epic, a narrative of heroic journeys that cohere into the formation of a nation or community, originating from studies of ancient Greek narrative poetry. Saga, emphasizing its focus on a heroic family, originating from the study of Old Norse Icelandic narrative poetry. And romance, a narrative of adventures, misadventures, and aimless wanderings originating from medieval European native poetry. Derived from the verb to go, as in going through life or walking down a path, it refers to a life story, connoting an exemplary life. In the context of popular epics that were created and passed down in oral performance, the seerah combines historical persons and events with imaginary characters and situations. The relationship between seerah and history is a close one. The printed version on which this translation is based opens with a religious paragraph that includes quotations from the Quran. Then it names the famous heroes of the Beni Kilab tribe who feature in this epic and provides an isnad, or chain of transmission, in accord with oral traditions that lay claim to authenticity by tracing a genealogy of narration and factuality. The ones who narrated this amazing epic and the strange outlandish events it contains are Ali ibn Musa al-Maqanibi, Al-Mazhab ibn Bakr al-Mazini, Salih al-Ja'fari, Yazid ibn Ammar al-Muzayni, Abdullah ibn Wahb al-Yamani, Auf ibn Fahd al-Fazzari, Sa'ad ibn Malik al-Tamimi, Ahmad al-Shimshati, Sabir al-Mar'ashi, and Najd ibn Hisham al-Amiri. All said that there was no one among the Arabs in the time of the Umayyads, not even the elite people of Ma'ad ibn Adnan, more brave, strong, capable, persevering, dangerous, knowledgeable, proud, wise, of a nobler genealogy, or stronger in battle than Bani Kilab. Having located the opening setting in Yemen during the reign of Abd al-Malik ibn Marwan, 685 to 705 CE, in a context of tribal competition, the narrator focuses on a series of heroes, beginning with the great-great-grandfather of Princess Fatima. The Sira includes a distinctly anti-Umayyad flavor, focusing on the establishment and the wonders of Baghdad, the capital of the succeeding Abbasid Caliphate, a city long celebrated in Arabic literature. In doing so, it echoes the tone of many histories about that period from the scholarly tradition in Arabic. At the same time, epic hero cycles, like other orally performed genres, include imaginary elements. Whereas the Arabian Nights is constructed with a framing device, hero cycles have a linking construction, in which the episodes of a hero's life or a hero's clan are linked. The numerous episodes of this epic read like a train of thought, frequently moving from one setting to another. The flexibility of section lengths and endings enables storytellers to resolve a conflict in the story or to leave the audience in suspense, according to their own discretion, and to tailor a storytelling session to the audience, often building on a standard episode several times. Sirat al-Amira Dhat al-Himma stands out for being particularly suspenseful. The storytellers use narrative techniques to build tension and return to characters and storylines numerous times, sometimes over long stretches, somehow finding new ways every time to increase interest through drama, such as raised stakes, revealing new information, or concluding an earlier plot point. As a genre, the epic may be considered the story of a hero's life cycle. The first stage in the hero's life generally consists of exceptional birth, childhood, and development. Fatima looks like a 10-year-old when she is only 5. Soon thereafter, she is captured during a raid and grows up as a prisoner of war in a foreign camp, where she is assigned the task of herding camels and horses. In the fields, she rides horses and teaches herself the arts of combat. This sojourn allows her to become an exceptional young woman without violating social norms. She makes weapons out of sticks and reeds and learns methods of attack and defense. The exploits of young heroes lead naturally to accomplishment as warriors defending their people. Fatima departs from typical women's roles in order to conduct raids and lead warriors into battle. Her combat skills ensure that she can defend herself and her virtue, without which she could not defend her tribe. As the warrior in traditional epics matures, his or her exploits lead increasingly to positions of leadership and rulership. In her later years, Fatima's power expands and she becomes a respected authority. From an early age, she upholds communal values such as hospitality, and she comes to support the ruling order of society by uniting the Bedouin tribes of her region in the service of the Caliph. The Sira genre developed an oral tradition, but the trail of handwritten manuscripts is also long. In the 20th century, printed texts provided a reference for storytellers who continued to entertain audiences with live performances. The creators of Arabic epics sought to entertain and to make a livelihood. The latter meant that they could, and often did, respond to local audience preferences with tones of moralizing, social commentary, recording history, or documenting famous legends. Arabic epics were performed in non-elite social settings, allowing for common language and humor. Nevertheless, the freedom of creating imaginary fiction precipitated some differences of opinion in medieval Islamic culture regarding its legality and prudence. Perhaps
Sample complete. Ready to continue?